we are back on Maisies. We're here for a full week, so just over a full week. We're doing Saturday through to the following Sunday. I've got myself, Callum Packer, Kieran is with me, Matt is with me, Luke is joining us midway through the week. Jake is joining us today. He's going to fish a couple of days. He's going to come down and see if we can get some of the carp out. It's looking really nice. Lake's looking good. Banks are all nice and dry this time round. Last time I fished here a couple of years ago, it was all the banks up here and all the way round on the swims was really muddy, where they'd done a lot of work on the lake. But the work that they did has obviously proved to have worked, and there's been a nice lot of fish coming out of here recently, some big ones as well. So some big cats, I believe, just over 60 pounder come out last weekend. So that'll be fun to see if we get anything that sort of size. A couple of guys have already got their bibbies and stuff set up on the far bank, as we had a little bit of a rush around this morning trying to get things sorted. I'm about to shoot off to get Callum because his lift let him down. So I went off and got him earlier on today, but at least he's here. It was unfair not having him fishing with us for the week, so I went and grabbed him. So let's hopefully we get some fish out this week, and so I shall get back to you in a bit. This hopefully will be quite a long video.
Go.
They're all good. So it's Maisies 2025. We've all beat our PBs this week. So rather than do a single dunking, we're going to do a mass dunking.
Go on then, kids, go! Go on, go!
Just chuck him. Just chuck him. Go, pick up.
Go on, over here.
Go and fill him up!
Hold on. Good shot, mate.
I did as well.
Come out the way, sit. Get wet otherwise.
Wait. Who's disappeared? Look.
He's still trying.
Come on, Luke! You can't get out of that!
Hey. Ready?
Go on, I'll go ahead first.
Just put your arms down your side. Now for the release video of the biggest fish in the lake.